Yes guys, welcome back to the Stretford Paddock YouTube channel. My name's Jordan. As you can see, we're outside Old Trafford where the works are still ongoing on the front side of the stadium, but to be honest, the only thing I'm bothered about is if they fix the bleeding owners of this club. So I'm not really bothered about what they're doing over there. I'm sure you lot aren't really too bothered either, but we have some news as always, bringing it to you from this morning. Me and Cam are outside and we've got a little bit about that man again, Jadon Sancho, whatever his name is, no one knows anymore, but we're going to keep it short and sweet about him because I know we're all completely fed up about hearing about this lad until he signs. He could be the first player in history where a fan base has been fed up about listening to the transfer rumours about him because we're sick to death of it. We just want to hear that he comes now, and we hopefully got a little bit of a developments on that. We're also going to update you on the futures of Raphael Varane and Paul Torres in terms of incomings to Manchester United. We're also going to look at a couple of outgoings, including some of the younger players in the squad for the likes of Axel, Tuanzebe, Brandon Williams. We've got all that to come. The weather, to be honest, it's pretty grey. It's not cold, but it's fine rain, you know, the rain that gets you wet, all that stuff. It's pretty rubbish outside, so I'd stay in if I were you, but at least it's not cold. Bit gloomy, bit rubbish, reflects the mood around the camp today, but we're going to go straight into the news anyway. We'll forget about the weather. Drop us another like on the video if you want to try and cheer us up because the weather is pretty pants, and we'll get straight into it now. So we're going to keep it short and sweet on that man, Jadon Sancho. We are all sick to death of hearing about all the rumours surrounding the Dortmund winger, and I know we want to get the deal over the line now, but the other developments that we've had over the past 24 hours is from that man again, Fabrizio Romano, the transfer GOAT, as we all call him. Sancho will be earning a reported £350,000 a week at Manchester United. We're prepared to pay the €85 million that Borussia Dortmund want for him. We confirm the intention to include add-ons, the payment structure, etc, etc. It's going to be discussed now. Personal terms, agent fees already agreed. It's been rumoured to have been agreed for the past year now. Dortmund are feeling that the deal is now closer, but they want £95 million. But we're going to keep it short and sweet, as I keep saying about it. We know he's likely going to come now. It will probably be after the Euros, as the Express has been reporting, saying that significant process has been made in the past 24 hours regarding Jadon Sancho. The official announcement may not come, however, until after Euro 2020, giving the player time to focus on the tournament, which is quite interesting because he's not actually played a single minute yet for England, but it's just Gareth Southgate. He just doesn't fancy him, does he? But we're going to keep it light about Jadon Sancho because we're sick to death of hearing about him. He might be coming after the Euros. That's all we're going to say about that. Again, we've got links with two centre-halves. Now, it looks like the other rumoured ones, for example, your Kalidou Koulibaly's of Napoli, your Jules Koundé's from Sevilla, they've all seemed to filtered out now. They fizzled away. It's now looking like it's going to be a choice between Raphael Varane, obviously, if he wants to come to Manchester United, or Paul Torres from Villarreal. Now, again, from Fabrizio Romano, we are still working on, Manchester United are still working on the Sancho deal, but we're also focusing on a new centre-half in the summer, which was pretty obvious from the start of the transfer window. Raphael Varane is already in the list since 4 months. Manchester United are also aware of a release clause in Paul Torres' contract, which is €65 million this summer, not the reported 50 million. Now, the two interesting parts about that is that, one, if Raphael Varane does actually want to come to Manchester United, because we heard about all the rumours with him wanting to go back home, going back to PSG, but if we give him a half-decent contract offer, you never know what he might do. But Paul Torres is the difficult one because we know what our owners are like. If we can get them cheaper, we will get them cheaper. It's as simple as that. So they might decide to wait and pay €15 million less than they would do right now if they were to get Paul Torres, with his rumoured release clause being €65 million now. And that's really frustrating because we know we need a centre-half, especially if he's a left-footed centre-half, which few and far come between nowadays who have that sort of quality that you want in a back four. If he's available for €65 million, what's the point in saving 15 million? You'll probably pay him 15 million in wages anyway. Just tie him down and get him in. But what we want to know from you lot is who would you rather have between Raphael Varane or Paul Torres? Would you take a 28-year-old going into his peak, World Cup winner, Champions League winner 3 or 4 times, established centre-half to go alongside Harry Maguire? Or would you take a risk on Paul Torres? And it'd be another risk from Villarreal. As you know, we've had Eric Bailly for 5 years now, but he's not really got any better or any worse. His injury record's been pretty pants, but will Paul Torres just be another Eric Bailly if he does come to Manchester United? Let us know what you think in the comments. But El Confidencial in Spain, they're reporting that about specifically Raphael Varane is that Real Madrid have come to the conclusion that he doesn't want to renew his current deal, with suspicion Varane has a very important agreement already with another club, which is mainly thought to be Manchester United. Now, unless they've just been really sneaky about it and they've had a little communication with Raphael Varane or Raphael Varane's people, because he's not going to be talking too wise at the Euros. You know, France, they qualified yesterday, as we saw, 2-2 draw with Portugal, but Raphael Varane won't have had any contact with anybody I don't think, for Manchester United. As I say before, focusing on Euro 2020. But if Raphael Varane did come to Manchester United, it would be probably the biggest transfer coup that we've had in recent seasons in terms of the establishment of the player. I think back, if I can get my words out, before it all went sour with Angel Di Maria when he signed. Think about all the hype that we had around him coming from Real Madrid, a Los Blancos type player coming in. The hype would be real if Varane came in, but like I say, it is going to be that choice whether it will be Raphael Varane or whether it will be Pau Torres. For me, I would take Raphael Varane over Pau Torres in a heartbeat. You want that establishment, you want that type of player in. The interesting part there is that the Spanish press reporting that they already have an agreement in place with Raphael Varane. Now, it's very, very interesting that they say that, because how would his camp have got into Manchester United's negotiations with the player being at Euro 2020? Obviously through his agent, so whether he has any knowledge to this, we have no idea. But if the Spanish press are reporting that we have already got an agreement in place, which is to be rumoured, that could be massive for the club, because what would they have offered him already to have an agreement already in place with the club? Now, I know it's just rumours and all this sort of stuff, but we have to consider whether it's going to be concrete or not. And yes, Raphael Varane was announced. It was rumoured that Raphael Varane was going to Paris Saint-Germain. Makes sense because he wants to go home, go back to France, etc., etc. But if we've already got a deal in place with the centre half, it'll be interesting to see what happens. One final point for the incomings at United. James Ducker from The Telegraph was reporting yesterday that Solskjaer would like a defensive midfielder, but Man United may have to substantially trim the wage bill and sell well to be able to recruit a defensive midfielder. Now, there's been rumours about Saul Niguez, there's been rumours about Harry Winks, which we'll just put straight to bed. Now, these type of players have been linked to us in terms of that position, but I really want a sort of a destroyer in midfield, because we've had the likes of Scott McTominay, who isn't really a number 6, the likes of Fred, who isn't really a number 6, Paul Pogba playing in a number 6 role, who isn't really a 6, but absolutely shone yesterday for France. 2 big chances created, 1 assist, and the assist was a very fantastic ball into Karim Benzema. But you have to think why he has that sort of impact for his national side, because he's got that destroyer, that ball-winning midfielder in N'Golo Kante sat next to him now. If Manchester United can get someone along the lines of N'Golo Kante, which is going to be very difficult considering he is probably the best defensive midfielder in the world, Paul Pogba could shine in a 6 role, and then we could have even more creative freedom going forward, especially from a defensive position. Now, I would like Wilfred Ndidi, proper destroyer in midfield. If someone gets past him, if the ball goes past him, he's taking out the player as well. Saul Niguez would be, I know he's Stephen Howson's favourite, but as a 6, I'm not too sure if he's someone that we should be going for, targeting to fill a direct number 6 role in the club. But again, we'll wait and see, because these are all rumours that are circling around Manchester United right now. We're going to be linked to thousands of players in this transfer window. We've just got to see what goes through the line now. In terms of outgoings at the club, we've had a little bit of communication around the likes of Axel Tuanzebe and Brandon Williams. Starting with Axel, he's expected, this is according to the Manchester Evening News, he's expected to leave Manchester United on a season-long loan this summer. Tuanzebe feels he deserved more chances last season and received a lack of recognition. Premier League clubs and overseas clubs have expressed interest in the centre-half. And I would like to see Axel go out on loan, because there's all these rumours about whether we're going to sign Raphael Varane, Pau Torres, etc., etc., which means he's probably going to get even less game time than he got this season. And if those reports are to be believed, where he's feeling a little lack of recognition at the club, then I'd love to see him go out to a Premier League team and go and get a full season under his belt, which is the same with Brandon Williams, which is anticipated, this according to Simon Stone at the BBC, it's anticipated that he will leave Manchester United on loan ahead of the new season. Southampton were interested last year, but Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wanted to keep him. Now, again, with all the links of Kieran Trippier coming in to sort of challenge Aaron Wan-Bissaka at the right back spot, it would be the perfect option to send Brandon Williams out on loan to make sure he gets a full season really under his belt, just like Axel Tuanzebe did, because we can see what a loan can do for the benefit of the club and the players themselves. They're only young. I think Brandon Williams is only 19, 20 years of age. Axel Tuanzebe is 23. They can go out, develop, come back and be even more mature, and then they could genuinely challenge for a spot in the first team. But we're going to talk about Paul Pogba now as well. Again, Fabrizio Romano on Twitter, Manchester United are currently not negotiating with any club for Paul Pogba, despite rumours around his 50 million valuation. With 1 year left on his contract, Manchester United won't sell Paul for this fee. The new contract negotiations are not advanced yet, but United will try to keep him this summer. And I think he could be one of the biggest transfer coups if we can manage to keep Paul Pogba, or at least tie him down to a longer contract, because one, we don't want to lose him on a free. Like Jay was saying the other day, imagine if he left to go to Juventus. They got him for pennies when he signed for them all those years ago. He comes back for 90 million, then he get him back on a free. It would be a massive egg in the face to Manchester United Football Club if that happened. But Paul Pogba's contract needs to get sorted out. One, if we do want to keep him motivated for the rest of the season, trying to get us back to win a league title, and if we were to sell him eventually, because then there wouldn't be any constraints on how much money we could or could not get for him, knowing that he's tied down to a long contract and we can get a fee that would be relative to his transfer value, considering that his contract is running down. Again, like I said before, Paul Pogba needs to get tied down to this contract because he could be instrumental for us in the next couple of seasons, especially with him going to his peak. So that's it from us outside Old Trafford. It is starting to piss it down now, so it's great timing for us because we're going to get back in the car, get back straight to the office and start getting dry. But I've been Jadon Simpson for Stretford Paddock. Make sure to keep an eye out on the channel for the videos we've got coming out today. Don't forget to drop a like on the video, comment on your thoughts about all the news coming out today. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and as always, we'll see you on the next video.